All right, good morning, guys. Just going to help you out setting up your spreadsheet for your work log this morning. This will be assigned to you. It'll be called FP Work Log, Final Project Work Log. And I'm just going to show you guys, how you can set up this real quick spreadsheet going from today's date, the 13th, until the 2nd of June, which is when the projects will be due. All right, so here we go. You're going to go into your Google Classroom. Obviously, you're going to open up the assigned sheets document here, and then you will open it up. Obviously, it's going to be blank. Okay. You'll notice I have two tabs down here. The work log is what you are going to create and fill in on your own. It'll look like the one that I have up here, or however you want to customize it. And then there's another tab down here that you guys are going to fill in ahead of time. It's the materials in Sketch. This has already been done for you. Okay, you'll have the name of your project here. I did an example for a couple of the material type things. Again, this will all be part of your planning process, but quantity is the amount, what the actual product is, whether you already have it at home, you're going to purchase it, or Mr. Karen is going to need to provide it. Okay, so all this is going to need to be done ahead of time so you guys have a plan in place so we can get materials to you guys. All right, for your invention or your wooden structure, depending on what you're doing. All right, so the work log again, very simple. Okay, I'm just going to have my name, my partners if it's a group project. I'm going to have all the dates in here and then the activity that I did on that date. Okay, so pretty easy to set up. So I'm just going to start up here. I'm going to go member name. I'll put partners if I have any next to that. All right, and then I'll go down and I'll put date and activity. Now the cool thing about the date, the spreadsheet is very smart with dates. It will actually do all of these for you if you know what to do. So I'm going to make my font a little bit bigger here just so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm going to make this column a little bit wider. And then what I'm going to do here for these columns here is I'm going to merge them after, but I'll show you that. So for the date here, if I put in 5/13/2021, it's going to go to the right. My date's there. Tomorrow would be 5/14/2021. Okay. Now, here's the power of the spreadsheet. If I highlight these two dates, you'll notice a little blue square comes up. That's a copy feature. And we can use it for formulas or patterns. It'll work with days of the week and calendars and patterns and that type of thing. So if I start pulling on this, what's going to happen? It's going to fill in the days. It's going to add a day. So I literally just need to go down to June 2nd. I went to the 5th, so I'll just delete those three. And all of my dates are in place. Okay. Now my activity column here, I'm obviously going to want that bigger than that. So I'm just going to make my column be bigger. And that'll give us more space to write our partners and our member name in as well. Okay. Now, when I start writing down what I did during that day, some days there's going to be more stuff in there than others. There's going to be some days that you don't work, but you still need to fill the work log in. So like if you do work today, but you don't work tomorrow, you're going to put did not work on project. Okay. But on the days that you do work, you need to fill that in. And this will be graded like 3 times throughout the process here so that we're making sure that we're filling in the work log as we go. Now, one problem that could happen, especially if you start writing in a lot of stuff here, it's going to overflow way over here. Okay, I don't want that. So if you remember from class, we did a little trick with a wraparound. Okay, so if I click on that cell and I go here to the wraparound option, that will fill that in and keep everything in that cell. So that's pretty powerful. All right. Now, rather than doing that in each individual cell, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to highlight all of these, and I'm going to turn that feature on right away. I'm just going to go to the text wrapping, and I'm going to turn that on for all of those cells. So now when I type in these, when there's more information, it's going to wrap around and stay in the cell. All right. I'll add some grids here. We'll just highlight all of these, and we'll put our grids in. Again, you can make this as fancy as you want. If anybody takes some extra time to add things, I'll probably reward that, but it's not a requirement. I'm just kind of doing a basic one here. All right, so I've got everything set up. Again, I can boldface this information here so it stands out because those are headers, right? Like we talked about in class. Again, if I want to center all this stuff, I can do that as well. Okay. And again, if I want to, freeze things, because once you start filling this in, these are going to be probably a little bit bigger. So you can actually, if you want, make these rows a little bit taller. And you just go in between them, you get the arrow icon. And I can make those a little bit taller, okay, to fill in the data. The other thing we didn't talk about is aligning in the cells. Like I can do it horizontally, but I can also do it vertically. So if you watch the dates now, I can actually center those in the cell by hitting that align, vertical align. And that'll also now do that in here with these cells. So now if I, go down to this cell here and I just start, doing my typing, my description, it's going to wrap around automatically for me. Now, if it gets cut off like that, you can obviously make that cell a little bit bigger so you can read what's going on in there. Okay, so again, depending on how much you're going to be putting in these cells will determine how big these will be. All right, and you can make these as big as you want. So now, just like yesterday, we ran into that issue where if I scroll down, I can't see. Okay, so if I want, I can go here to row 4, go to view, and add the freeze for one row. Actually, I don't want to do just one row. I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. It'll let me do that. Up to current row 4. There we go. So now when I scroll down, I can still see the stuff at the top of the page. And then, like I said, from there, if you want to, fill things in, add color, to just kind of jazz it up or whatever. If you want your grids to be a different color, you can certainly do that if you want. And that's all up to you if you want to kind of jazz that up to maybe get a few extra points, to impress with what you've come up with. All right. So that'll be your work log. Again, the materials and sketch you will fill out ahead of time. The work log you will fill out every time you do work on your project. I mean, it might be research, brainstorming. It could be collecting materials. When you're at home or here in school, you might be cutting your 2x4s, or you might be cutting the popsicle sticks, or you might be folding aluminum, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so you'll put those descriptions in here and keep a work log of your process. All right, hope this video helps. And I will see you guys very soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing the ideas that you come up with for the final project. Have a good day.